I'm Joe Barton. I'm a retired colonel in the United States Air Force. Flew the A-10 for quite a few years during my career, and ended up flying here at Myrtle Beach, and actually I was the last one to leave Myrtle Beach. Anyway, another story. The picture you see behind me, or the paintings you see behind me, or nose art, is a representation, a cross-section representation of the airplanes that we took to Desert Storm. You may hear a lot about nose art. There's actually lots of books written about nose art. It basically started back in World War II. Some of you may remember the Enola Gay that dropped the atomic bomb on Japan. The Memphis Belle, which has had a couple of TV movies made about it. But they had the nose art on them, and it was designed by the pilots that flew it, basically to put on there whatever they wanted, or whatever. In those days, you get away with a lot more than you can now. But it was just designed to make each airplane an individual airplane, something specific. Now during Desert Storm, we were able to go back and put nose art on the airplanes. That is the first time that the Air Force had allowed it, the active Air Force, since World War II, really. So of the 24 airplanes we had in our squadron, and the 24 airplanes in the other squadron from Myrtle Beach, the 353rd, we were each pilot who had his name on the side of the airplane was allowed to pick out what he wanted for his nose art. Now what you see on the nose behind us is just, like I said, a cross-section representation of what we had. Now the airplane, the nose art, the nose you see there, was actually an airplane that came in here to Myrtle Beach after the base closed to be refurbished, and apparently there was more wrong than they thought it was, so it didn't get refurbished and the nose got cut off, and was donated to the city of Myrtle Beach and put out in the Warbird Park, as you see it here, with some of the nose art we had from Desert Storm. Now, each individual could kind of pick what they wanted. The airplane that I flew, the Doghog, it was called the Doghog because basically I went to the University of Georgia and I'm a dog. And the A-10 has always been called the Warthog, mainly because it's probably one of the ugliest airplanes that's ever flown. But it's just affectionately called by the pilots that flew it and the maintainers and the people that love it. We just call it the Hog. So I figured, since being a graduate of the University of Georgia, dog, and flying the A-10 Warthog, the only name I could come up with this airplane would have to be the Doghog. So there you have it. That's the reason this airplane is named this. Some of the other airplanes were named after the pilots' wives, some of the places they went to college, and just different things. But each person was allowed to come up with their own idea. Now we had, in our squadron, we had basically two people that did most of the painting. Captain Mike McGee did a lot of it, and Captain Joel Rush did quite a bit of the rest of it. Now each squadron had, fortunately, everybody had an artist, or they thought they were an artist, that could get out there and do some work. So we had some pretty good nose art during Desert Storm. Unfortunately, as soon as we came back to the States, the powers that be of the Air Force decided that we couldn't do that, so they kind of went away. But now, in today's times, and all the airplanes spending a lot of time in Afghanistan and Iraq, the nose art is starting to come back. So hopefully it'll be around for a while. And it's not just the A-10, it was the bombers, the F-15s, the F-16s, pretty much all the airplanes that are flying now. A lot of them have some nose art, and it's one of those traditions from the Air Force that's been around a long time, and we need to keep it. So this is what you're looking at when you see this picture behind you.